Hi there, Mike Mullin here, Royal LePage, with another installment of Homeownership by Design, here with Chris Harrison, local lawyer in the Orangeville, Dufferin area. Chris, question for you. Wills. How important is it for somebody to have a will in place, whether they're single or married, kids or no kids? How would you answer that, sir?
Well, because we're primarily talking about homeownership today, in the context of homeownership, when you're dealing with, for example, a couple, very often, or I would say probably 99% of the time, that couple would register title to the property as joint tenants.
Yes.
The implications of registering title as joint tenants is that on the passing of one of the co-owners, the surviving co-owner acquires all of the deceased person's interest in the property. So in that particular context, a will would not be terribly important to them. However, we also have situations where perhaps one of the spouses has bad credit, and so they're not on title. In that situation, a will would be absolutely critical in the event that the non-titled spouse were to survive the titled spouse. There are all kinds of provisions in Ontario's Succession Law Reform Act that deal with intestacy. For the most part, it's not the terrible calamity that it's painted to be. However, Ontario's Succession Law Reform Act doesn't do justice to individual family dynamics. And every family has a different fact situation that has to be evaluated in order to determine the necessity of a will. So for example, Ontario's, the intestacy law provisions would look to the family tree in the event someone passed away without a will, and it would look to send the deceased person's property to the nearest branch of the family tree that they could. It makes no provision for the fact that the nearest branch of the family tree might be a drug addict or a gambler, or be in the midst of a very bad marriage that might have implications on the receipt of property where it ultimately goes. So it's a very individual assessment. I would encourage anyone that is in the home buying process to consider spending a few minutes with their lawyer to discuss the necessity of a will.
Perfect. Absolutely. Again, great advice, and thank you very much for spending some time with us today, Chris.
Happy to do it. Thank you.